Hey kids, it's Miss Patty. I don't know about you, but Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker ballet has been a tradition in our home for many, many years, and it might be in your home as well. If you haven't read the books or seen the ballet, I highly encourage you to do so. But today what we're going to be doing is a drawing of the Nutcracker that turns into a prince. So all we're going to be doing is drawing our Nutcracker on a white piece of paper using a really cool and easy trick to help keep the Nutcracker symmetrical and nice and tall. So the first step in this project is actually drawing the Nutcracker itself. So we're going to be using a really clever folding technique, like I mentioned, and then step 2 is to color the Nutcracker. We're going to be using markers, but if you like colored pencils or if you like paint, you can use those too, but I'm going to definitely use markers. Then the third step is actually kind of fun. We're going to be using some decorative paper, and I'm going to show you how to make your own to embellish the Nutcracker, adding a little bling to the Nutcracker. We're going to use some rhinestones if you have it, and a few other little fun things that you can add. You're going to need a big, nice, tall sheet of paper. Mine is 12 by 18. It does not matter what size yours is at, but the taller the paper, the taller the Nutcracker. Then we're going to be drawing with a Sharpie marker. So no pencils, nothing else, just the Sharpie. We're going to be brave today and make really cool lines. And don't you worry about making any mistakes, because our Nutcracker is filled with patterns, so we can, camouflage any mistakes that we make. Then we're going to be using some markers to color. If you have oil pastels, these are great too. I do have some buttons. Like, you might not have as many buttons as me. I mean, look how many I have, look, thousands. But I thought buttons would be fun to add to our Nutcracker. And I also have these little beautiful gems that I found at a craft store. And I have some washi tape. I have some gold metallic gel sticks. If you don't have these, I have a gold oil pastel. Just get out anything that glimmers and shines, and we're going to have some fun with it. You're going to need scissors and a glue stick or some white school glue as well. Okay, let's get to it. I want you to take your paper and stand it up really tall so the length is moving away from you. I want you to fold one side of the paper to the other side. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we want to match up the corners. Put your finger in the middle, and I want you to take your thumb and just drag it to the edge, and I want you to go zip and zip so that you have a crease in the middle of your paper, just like that. Now open it up, take the bottom and fold it all the way to the top of the paper, and do it the very same way. Match up your corners, put your finger there, zip, zip, and zip. So now you have a cross, a line here and a line here. 2 more folds. Bottom up to the center, zip, zip, top down to the center, zip, zip, open the whole thing up, and if you counted, you could count 2, 4, 6, 8 rectangles. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be drawing our Nutcracker in the middle of that paper using the center line as the center of our Nutcracker, so he is symmetrical on both sides. And then, can you notice where the bottom of his head is? His head takes up the first section, his body takes up the second section, his pelvic region and just above the knees take up the third section, and the final section, all the way down to the bottom right here, are the feet and the bottom parts of his legs. That's how we're going to draw our Nutcracker. So are you ready? Get out your Sharpie and let's get going. I see my lines and I am going to be drawing a line that is about as long as my finger. Now, here's the center. I'm just going to make a little dot there. Let's take our 3 fingers and make a dot beside our finger here and our finger here. And that should be about a good length for our head. Now, what I want you to do is go up and down. And then I want you to go across here. Now you have all sorts of options here. This is his face. It's more of a trapezoid than I want it, but I think it's good. But what you want to do now is the crown. I have a drawing guide beside me that has all sorts of different crowns and facial features. You can follow along with me and kind of do a practice Nutcracker, and then you can choose on your own what kind of hairstyle you want. If your Nutcracker has a mustache, if you have a hat or a crown on, you get to choose. But let's just follow these steps so you get the right pattern going. Okay, I'm just going to choose a basic crown, a line here, and I'm going to join these up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's it. I'm going to fill in the details a little bit later. Now, I want to make my shoulders, so I want to make this line extend beyond the face. Now, I'm going to make the hair and the face in just a minute, but let's continue on and make the body. I want to make a line that is between this line and this line, just approximately, that goes down here. Ooh, he looks really like big barrel chested. And then I want you to draw a straight line here. Then I want you to go out here, in here, and then another line straight across. We're just getting the basic shapes in for now. Then what I want you to do is take your marker and put it right in the center and put your finger at the very bottom. And I want you to draw a line all the way down to your finger, just like that. Okay? We're almost done. Make a bump here and a bump here. I know it's looking a little weird, trust me. Then I want you to draw a line under that. Can you imagine what these things are? They're his feet. Okay, so now what we want to do is draw a line from the foot all the way up to the top here. That's his knee. And then again to his body. Okay, so this is his legs. This is his very big chest. Now we need to make his arms. So they're going to go down past this line. That's one arm, another arm, and let's make a nice big cuff. I want to make this cuff really fancy. Look at how big that square is. And then his hands just go right here. So kids, I have a confession. I kind of feel like the girth, the width of my Nutcracker is a little big. So you might be feeling the same way, like, oh my gosh, it's really, really wide. So I say continue on. Let's keep on drawing just to see how it turns out, because you can always do another Nutcracker a little bit later using the knowledge that you gained from this one. So let's keep moving on. I want to draw some hair. Now you have lots of options for hair, but I'm going right where the crown ends, where the crown meets the head, and I'm going to go out and flip. So very, very fancy hair. Now here's the fun part. There's lots of ways you can design and draw your face, and I have a lot of ideas here, but they basically start with a dot for one eye and another. And then around that dot, I want you to put a circle. Over top is the eyebrow, and this is where you want to slow down and make the nose. So it's like the eyebrow goes into the nose, over and up and over again. I want to add a mustache. So right in the center on that fold line, I'm going to go up and around, and then I'm going to join that up. Now you don't have to do a mustache, but I think it's just too fun not to. Now we're going to add the teeth, and really you just kind of go right down to the bottom of the face area and then go over and then make the teeth. They look a little kind of frightening. Okay, he does have rosy cheeks, but I'm going to add that with color later. Now, this is so fancy. He has like an epaulette, and epaulettes are on military uniforms where it shows different insignia, and you can have stripes or whatever. He's really strong, don't you think? This guy's not as strong, but anyways, every Nutcracker is a good Nutcracker, so let's keep going. What you want to do now is decide how you want the uniform to look. And I love making a sash across the Nutcracker's body, so you want to do that first. So before you do anything else, take your marker and put it right where your corner of your face and your shoulder meet. And then just draw a line over to the other side of the body. And then make that nice and thick, another parallel line that kind of keeps it nice and even. And that's where we're going to have our sash. So you don't have to do too much else. I'm just going to make it a little bit more fancy, and I'm really happy. Now what we want to do, most of the Nutcracker's uniforms have a band along the front where the buttons are. So we're going to draw the band, one on either side of our fold line. And this is where you can start adding some details. You can do just a single line like mine, or you can start making some fancy buttons. And maybe they have some special embroidery to them. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Now you can always add a little bit more detail later, but I want to get the basic details in now, and I think I'm doing a good job. Oh, right here is where I want to draw one big button and a sash here. On this Nutcracker, I have two of them, but I only could fit in one here. Now, do you see where the knees are? It's along this fold line. So I'm going to draw a line here and there, and then I'm going to go up. This is kind of an indication of where the knees are. And then you can do anything you want here. These are the boots. I'm going to have striped boots, but you can have boots that have a different pattern. And you can see different patterns right here for all of the Nutcracker's uniform. You can even have some patterns here. This is the fun part, kids. You know, really decorating your Nutcracker. So, boys and girls, my Nutcracker is ready for coloring. Okay, so now I want you to take some time and finish up your Nutcracker or start a new one. And when you come back, we're going to start coloring. Okay kids, I'm looking for a skin tone color that I would like to color in my Nutcracker with. And I have lots of different colors in here. I'm gonna find the one that I think will look good. So now I'm gonna color in my skin color. So color in your skin tone. When you're using these markers, try to color on the, can you see this? See that long edge? See if you can angle your marker so that you can color along the edge. You get a bigger area covered faster. Now don't color in the eyes, but color all the way around them. There. And I'm going to do the hands. And that's it. I'm going to take a black and color his hair. You can color your hair any color you want. And I'm going to leave the crown because I want to show you a couple of ways that you could make it a little bit more embellished. So now what you want to do, kids, is color in the base color. And then we're going to add in things on top of that base color. So what I mean is this. If you want this color for your sleeve, just go ahead and color in the sleeve. You want to color in the different sections. So the sleeves are one color, maybe the jacket's the same color, but this sash is a different color. This could be a different color. So you decide what your base color is for all of the sections of your Nutcracker, and then just get busy coloring them. I'm using markers, but you choose the coloring medium of your choice. And when you're done, I'll meet you back here. Okay, kids, I finished coloring. I had some fun coloring this guy. I kind of just did things a little bit differently. So now what you can do, if you have oil pastels or any kind of gel sticks, this is where you can really have some fun. So what you can do is I have a gold oil pastel here, and if you wanted to make some patterns over your marker, this is a good place to do it. Maybe you have a white and you wanted to add some, what could I do? Maybe some stripes here. You could do that. See how the oil pastel goes right over the colored marker? I think that's really clever. Here's a lighter blue, and maybe I can make a pattern. Maybe I have a different texture in these pants. So you can do that all day long. And you can even take like a rose color, a pink, and color in his cheeks. Now, I want to show you something fun. You can always buy gold paper or any kind of craft paper, and you can cut that up and add it to your Nutcracker if you want. But sometimes we don't have those things, but we might have some gold paint at home. So what you can do is just, put a little bit of golden paint, this is just tempera paint, onto a piece of paper. Let me see if I can get my brush here. Here's one. You can just take the brush and just spread it around, and you can make your own paper. The thing I love about this metallic paint, it dries so quickly, like crazy quick. Anyways, and then you can cut that up and play with it. Or you can take a gel stick, I know you guys have some of these, and you can color your artwork or just a piece of paper. You could take an oil pastel and make a solid color with that. And then what happens is that you have now some paper that you can cut up and add to your Nutcracker, which is what I'm going to do. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just use my paint. I'm going to take a little bit of paint there. And I'm going to be a little messy, but look what I'm going to do. I'm just going to brush it right on top, just like that. And I'm going to cut around that. Now, if you don't want to cut around your Nutcracker, like cut it out like this. Don't do that. Just color it in. But I think that's good for me. Then what I can do is take little pieces. So just cut out a strip. And it can be any color paper. It doesn't have to be gold. And just decide what you might want to do with it. Maybe I'll fold it in half or fold a section. Okay, I have a section folded and I want to make some big buttons. So put your scissors, big open mouth here, and then turn the paper all the way around until you get some shapes. Open up the scissors, turn your paper, and then keep pressing down. These are smaller. And I think I'll do it one more time. There, so I have some buttons to add if I wanted to, or they could be polka dots. You can add squares, and you can even cut them up into triangles. There, so I have lots of places to add some more detail. What can I do here? I think I would like to add some of these triangles right along here. So I'm taking my triangles and just adding them to my artwork. There, that should be good. Now, I don't think I'll use those little dots because I want to show you a few other things. I have these beautiful rhinestones, and when you kind of play with them a bit, you kind of see what you have. You could put these things in his crown. I'm trying to figure out, I really like these two. Maybe I'll put them right here. Yeah, that would look really cool. So you want to use white school glue for these and put a big blob of glue there. Now the glue is going to dry nice and clear, so you don't have to worry about it. But before I add anything else, do you know what I'm going to do, kids? I'm going to cut it out. Okay, because I don't want to add any more rhinestones in case it gets too heavy. So now I would just want to take my scissors and go around the outside of my nutcracker, being really careful. And I'm just going to go around this pretty broadly for now, and then I'll come back and do it a little better in a minute. Now, if your younger brother or sister would like to join you in this project, you can color in the nutcracker that we have in the printable pack. So make sure you download the printable pack. There's lots of ideas for you, and you can practice coloring them. Okay, now I'm cutting this out a little bit better. Now I wasn't so sure about this nutcracker at the beginning, but I'm so pleased. I think he's very handsome, very powerful. Okay, so I have lots of scraps here. You know what I'm going to do, kids? I'm going to save these little bits and pieces because you never know if I can use them again in the next project, but this is all scrap. Okay, there's only one more thing I'm going to do, and that is add a few more jewels to my crown because I think the crown could use a little bit more details. Ooh, I think I'll just do one. Look at this one, it's the best. So good. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, now just want to press that down. In fact, you can take a little piece of paper. Take your piece of paper, take your fist and just roll it over the areas that you may have glued something down. Oh my goodness, I'm very happy with my very handsome Nutcracker. Look at that, kids. So you can make as many of these as you want. I mean, the sky's the limit. Look, from one set of instructions, look how different they are. Isn't that fun? Okay, kids, I cannot wait to see what you do, what kind of Nutcracker you make. So make sure you take a picture and send it our way. I'll see you next week.